Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Lightbridge. This was a stock analysis request from one of the followers, and I wanted to let you know that anyone can make these requests and I will most likely cover them, especially if there is an actionable trade setup to follow. Now in the case of this chart, we don't really have a good large time frame structure. We are in a pretty significant downtrend, but we do have a structure that we can follow for continuation to the upside, and I do have quite some significant levels that would signal us when this push to the upside is probably failing. Now before we get there, on the large time frame we are tracking what could be a simple ABC structure, and honestly this could be complete. Now unfortunately the push to the upside does also have a three-wave structure from the all-time low, where this is an ABC movement. Now I will track this for the sake of simplicity as a wave 1, and then we have a wave 2 bottom, and also it is for the sake of the optimism, the potential of this chart, where we are looking to form a larger structure to the upside in a 5-wave move. And then we could track some levels of resistance, and I suppose we could look, maybe even from here, a general area that could represent a risk, where this could be either a third wave down. Now I don't really believe it, but could be also another 1-2 setup developing. Could be actually a number of things occurring here. Maybe this correction, this movement down is not yet complete. Anyway, in this movement to the upside we are looking for resistance in the area between the $23.4 all the way up to the $365 level at the 78.6% retracement. Now I see we did react today, we did get stuck a bit at the 38.2% retracement, and I am a bit curious if this did react previously to something of a wave 4 resistance area. Doesn't seem to really be the case, maybe initially here, but nothing more significant than these first pushes up. But I suppose we could keep this as a wave B correction or some sort of a wave 2, and regardless, now we can look for continuation higher, and in this movement to the upside I am looking to form a 5-wave structure. For this to work out, since in the first wave to the upside we have an ABC structure, we are looking also in the third wave that would now be developing for an ABC structure to form. Now within such a structure I suppose we might even have a 5-wave move here initially within the wave A, and I actually already added some counts here. So I am looking at this as an A wave up. Could be a 1, 2, 3, 4th and the 5th. Now to be honest, this did break a few rules, at least for an impulse. So the wave 1 or the wave 4 got into the wave 1 territory. Now it cannot be an impulse to the upside, unfortunately. Then this 1-2 setup, it retraced it by an extreme amount of time, all of price actually, almost 100%. So again, not something very reliable. It could have really been that a truncation happened here, and then this is the bottom of the wave 2. Doesn't really matter. In either case I would be looking here at the wave A top, and since the bottom is very similar, I would be looking at very similar extensions. Now for the upside, ideally in a third wave we are going to reach the 138.2% extension of the wave 1. That would be at around the $43 level. Then we have an ideal target also for the wave C that we can track. That would be the 100% extension of the wave A, the $46.5 level. Now I'm actually curious if I drew that right the first time for the wave 1, the 1-2 setup target. Did I miss something? No, it is in a very similar area. It is in a level of confluence with the top of this wave C. Now the thing is, within this wave C that I am tracking here to the upside, I am looking at this as a wave 1 top, and then here a wave 2 bottom, where if this really is the case, in this third wave to the upside we would expect targets that would far exceed any of those levels. Now it could unfold in different ways than what we have here on the chart, but this is what I find with the most reliability, and what I honestly, if this structure really fails, and clearly fails, not that it pushes to the upside, but it develops in a different way. But if it really fails, I would really start considering that maybe this entire movement is going to actually fail and could lead us to new all-time lows. And firstly, what I have here in this wave C to the upside is a 5-wave move. The wave C must always be a 5-wave structure, and within the wave 1 I am tracking it as a leading diagonal in a wave 1. So the internal structure is an ABC in the wave 1, ABC in the wave 3, ABC in the wave 5. All good and fine. We have here a wave 1 top, then a wave 2 bottom, somewhere in this area, where technically this is the low point. This is what I would normally look for the wave, for the bottom, for the beginning of the uptrend in the wave 3. Now, could be some sort of a different pattern where this is an ABC structure and we have here the wave 2 bottom, and then regardless of this, in one interpretation we are tracking an initial 5-wave move that seems to be forming here to the upside within this wave 3. Now personally, I would prefer for this third wave to actually start pushing for real, because we are not going to reach the ideal target in a likely fashion if we keep pushing sideways a lot and not create a clear impulse within the wave 3. And yeah, technically I do need the wave 3 to be an impulse. We did have a 5-wave structure within the wave 1, and I am expecting an impulse in the wave 3 that is non-negotiable really, but it could still develop in a bit of a different way. Now in white I am tracking a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where in this correction in the wave 4, assuming that we topped here in the wave 3, and based on the RSI it does look like we do have a local top and we could be in this correction, and I am looking for support in the area between the $21.5 all the way down to the $18.3 at the 50% retracement. If we break that, this count really doesn't work anymore. I can still look even in that case for continuation to the upside, but then I would really consider this possibly as the wave 2 bottom, or that this is developing as a double 1 2 1 2 setup. That is fine, really no problem, but I would need in that case to hold support at least in this green area that starts at the $19.7 all the way down to the $15.5 level. Now a break below the 78.6% retracement here would be a very big warning sign. It would indicate that the likelihood of this movement in a 1-2-1-2 setup, or any movement that allows for continuation in a third wave to the upside within the wave C, is highly unlikely. So that is if we break below the 78.6% retracement. If we break below the beginning that we have here marked as the wave 2 low, that would be invalidation of this impulse to the upside. Now it could still develop in a different way. It still could, where this was a 1, this was a 2, this was a third, a fourth, and then this was the entire wave 5. Honestly, could work out. But regardless of that, we could be looking at a very severe correction that might take us to much lower prices, and honestly it would affect the credibility of this chart, the credibility of the structure that is forming heavily, to the point that I might even be too concerned to even consider a position in this area, because the structure, while technically it still allows for it, it is in a high risk area, it is in a high risk chart that does not provide the clarity that we can choose to pick, because there are so many charts that provide much better clarity that we could trade. But for now we are doing okay, and we will continue to be okay as long as we hold the 78.6% retracement and we build this wave C to the upside. And for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.